What is a shinobi? Any person with a heart called to serve, whose discipline has made them dangerous, is hereby titled Shinobi. These are their stories. What's up, my ninjas? We're live and we're in the studio. Welcome back to Shinobi Chronicles, hosted by Zero Abyss.
Your boy Naseem.
As you all know by now, our goal here is always to provide inspiration, education, and motivation for our fellow shinobi who are walking the path of greatness through achievement and service. As always, it's our great honor to serve you all, and so we will not disappoint you. I hope y'all have been pursuing your highest selves over this last week. Today we're going to be getting into that part 2, like I discussed, of the Final Valley Fallouts, where we're looking at relationship resurrections. And that's really all we're going to touch on today for number 11. So, Naseem, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into it. So, today we're going to talk about, like I said, those relationship resurrections. Because after you fell out with somebody, sometimes y'all done, and sometimes you spin the block, man. Like it doesn't spinning the block doesn't always have to mean violence. But all right, let's start off on you, man. Like, have you ever resurrected after you fell out with somebody? Probably not, because you only fall out with managers. So
Yeah. I usually don't resurrect. I mean, I can be cordial, especially like since it's like the workplace. I can be cordial and go to work to do what I need to do, and then leave. Like nothing else needs to be said or done. Besides that, I mean, I resurrected with you, so.
give me this perspective. As a third party, when two others, like, you're the C, but A and B fell out, what can the what is bridging the gap like for you? Like when two people were cool, you was cool with both of them, like y'all was all mutual. Now those two people are in a standoff. They had something of a fallout, but you basically still cool with both parties. Then, I mean, they might resurrect, so then y'all all cool again. They might fall out. Like, tell me what it's like to be middleman.
It's honestly a pain because I'm always the middleman. No matter what it is, I'm always the middleman. Some people could be falling out and you're like, Darion. It's a pain. So hearing both sides of the parties, frustrations and all that stuff, and them saying they're done, so I don't try to give no advice for real. Like, I could give back, y'all got similar mentalities, y'all could be friends again, but sometimes it doesn't always work out. So I still be friends with everybody. So I still be hearing nonsense, but everybody's grown at this point. Let them do their thing. Sometimes the best thing is to walk away from certain people. So it's just better for your peace of mind and everything else. So, but being in the middle of all that, it is a pain, especially during the situations. But it gives me a better view on things, hearing different people's perspectives and all that stuff. So
I was gonna say, do you feel like it's because you're always the middleman and you see people's shortcomings of just interpersonal relationships, and not even it's not gotta even be like the romantics, but seeing the shortcomings of people's interpersonal relationships? Do you feel like that you learn vicariously through them, so then you don't? Is that part of why you don't fall out with people? Because you're like, I already be seeing the pitfalls because I've seen so many people fall through them.
I wouldn't. Yes and no. Now that I'm older and doing more observations, stuff like that, yes. But when I was younger, I was definitely a people pleaser. So even people like talk down on me and shit, I didn't care for real. So that was mostly during my normal days where I was fighting every day. But it's easy with guys low key. A nigga fights nowadays is not, but if a nigga fights, we can be cool the next fucking day because we already just threw our anger.
Pretty much.
But yeah, as a kid, I was a people pleaser, so even people like just talk down on me and stuff like that, and I was fighting every day and stuff. Like I didn't care. I was just there to have fun, and I did have friends, like the ones that I didn't fight with and all that stuff, and try to do their best to make sure I don't fight over something dumb or something like that. So I guess I'm more thankful for my friends because they just held me down. Otherwise, I probably would be just trying to box everybody I see because fuck everybody. Fuck everybody. But anyways, yeah. Now that I'm older and I watch other people, I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna do that. And the fact that I just respect people's wishes, just respecting people in general, is better anyway. Because you can't have a friendship if you don't got respect for another person. So
True. Can't have hardly any relationship without respect. Not a good one anyway. A relationship without respect ain't even worth having. If you're in one, get out. Have you ever been like asked to pick sides? Anybody ever been like? Have you ever had to mediate where like the two parties that were falling out both came to you and like asked you to, who's right? Or, like they shared their argument with you and asked you to.
No. Not really. Most that will happen is they'll ask for my advice or see how I would do things. Or they wouldn't ask directly, no, but of course when people are arguing, they like arguing and telling their point of view as if I would agree with it or something like that. But I mean, I do my best to reassure people, but yeah, directly ask, pick a side, no.
I'm wondering. Oh my Jesus.
It's early in the morning, y'all. We still waking up.
It really is. We had a busy day today, man. We had to get to work, so we got to this first thing. So yeah, we really are still getting cracking. I ain't stretched out yet, but this might possibly get edited out, but it also might hang around. We might
keep it real.
Keep it real, honey. Have you ever? I'll tell you what. Have you ever been like in the middleman and somebody's falling out, and you're more loyal to one party than the other because you knew them longer, but then the party that you knew a little less, they tell you some shit that you didn't know about, like say, or let's put it like this, because like me and you knew each other obviously before Steak Shake, Chick-fil-A, like, all our jobs and whatnot. We known each other a long ass time, probably like 12 years by now at this point. So let's take this example. When after me and L fell out, after Cypress fall out, and like not that I'm trying to pry, but for information, let's put it like this: like, did L ever tell you some things because you knew me longer than him, like about the situation that maybe you didn't know or that I hadn't said to you that made you kind of like look at me different, like, oh man, I didn't know he was slimy like that.
No, not that I can think of. I mean, you tell me nearly everything. If not, you hold back and maybe tell me another day. But everything that you said, you man telling me that you did, and I was like, well, all it said was it's on site now. That's all I said. I mean, not all I said, but that's all it's been said. I was like, well,
on site now. Which is hella funny because didn't he say that before like that time that I tried to catch up with him and it didn't pan out or whatever, but
I don't know. I don't remember the exact day I did it because I was not there, but I don't know. I remember he came back over to St. Louis to do some shit and I helped him out with it, and that's when he told me about that shit. But I was like, well, gonna kill each other. So
I don't think he really meant it. And the only reason I say that is because
I mean, anybody can be mad and say shit. So
no, the only reason I said that is because we created the opportunity. I called that nigga up one day, and I at the time I didn't even have my car or nothing. So I let him come pick me up, and when I rode passenger seat with bro, like we had a whole conversation and everything. So it was really on site. I mean, he had some questions, but I mean, if it was on site.
Yeah, I'm not L's body. I don't know what he be thinking, so I don't know. And again, I don't know the time frame of how that all occurred, but shit, maybe it was still a little bro in him. And he wanted to rehash some stuff, but maybe he ain't get the answers he wanted. I don't know. But
I mean,
only you and him know what happened that day.
He got answers to the questions that he asked, but I don't know if they were the answers that he wanted. But some questions you don't ask, like you don't want any answer. You just asking so that you can have one, because at the same time you don't want to not have an answer. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all, because I told y'all L really don't fuck with me no more. Like he was deadly serious about that. Not just because I tried to embarrass him in front of his chick. Not just because I tried to choke slam that nigga like I was crazy. Not just because I was older, making more money, better. I'm just playing. I'm playing. I'm not bad. I'm gonna tell y'all why L really don't fuck with me. I'm gonna tell y'all the real 100% reason why L don't fuck with me. It's really a conglomeration of things, but it was a building. Like every step basically built on the next step. So I told y'all straight off the rip, we met L at a job, man. We were working at Chick-fil-A. I think I told y'all we were talking about For Honor. There's a video game we was playing. And he was into the game too. He actually played the same character as me. And so, he jumped in, got to shit talking. When they're shit talking, niggas got to do some stick talking. Afterwards, like we was all cool and stuff, ended up moving in together, blah, blah, blah. I don't gotta hit every detail. At the time, my boy Young L, he was lusting, man. He was lusting. He was getting his dick wet, to say the least. But essentially, he ends up messing with this girl that works at the Chick-fil-A with us, right? I mean, we told y'all last week, like we ended up all being up in there, but before the girl that he had for a longer term, he was messing with this Leo chick. That's probably the best way, because I'm trying not to like do all these names and stuff, but then you got to differentiate for stories or whatever. And actually, they were both Leos, so that's not helpful either. But regardless, let's just leave it how it is. He was messing with this Leo chick, right? And early in the run-ins, we had just got the apartment, and I told y'all they were both Leos or whatever. But he was messing with this light-skinned Leo chick. Let's leave it right there. That way I can differentiate the two, because one was a light-skinned, one's a dark-skinned. It really don't matter. I'm not trying to overspill his business, but it's important to know because, see, here's the thing. So L, he was really, really lusting. Dude was like chasing all the baddest chicks that he could encounter. So whatever chicks at the job he could encounter after he thought they was fine, he was shooting his shot. Shoot or shoot. He was putting them things up, trying, shooting for the net. He was trying to holler. The thing that first, I think here's what really happened first. The first step is that one of the girls he was hollering at or trying to, she really wasn't going for him, and so they kind of deaded it. He was like, "Yeah, that ain't worth it." But then the girl was kind of feeling me a little bit, like not on her own at first, I don't think, but I don't know. Like he pointed out to her, he was like, "Hey, she kind of bad," and I started looking. I was like, "You kind of right." So he tried to shoot his shot, didn't really go nowhere. And I was like, "Well, I mean, you cool if I try? Ain't no thing, right? Like, I ain't gonna." He's like, "Yeah, go for it." But I don't think he really thought it was gonna pan out. I'll jump the gun and tell y'all that ended up being the girl that I dated for 5.5 years. So yeah, it panned out. But of course, in the early run-ins, and this is first year we're talking about here, like first months, I don't think he thought that I actually had a real chance. So I think that kind of rubbed him the wrong way just a little bit. Like, oh wow, like you pulled down the girl that rejected me. Then that girl that rejected him, that I pulled down, turned out to be a bisexual. And so one time L, like he had his light-skinned Leo chick over. I think maybe I was at work that day or something. But like the three of them were still off. Either way, the two girls ended up messing around. And I think some of that triggered L's insecurity. Like he was one of those dudes, at least at the time, I don't know much about him these days. We don't talk obviously. But I think he felt a way about like, I mean, people are gonna feel the way about they partner stepping outside the bounds of the relationship, even with another chick, you know. Dudes be pretend idolizing the rappers and they talk about, oh, 2 girls, 3 girls, 5 girls, but then when that girl actually is messing with another girl, they be like, whoa, 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 I thought you was loyal to me, hold on, what is all this? You didn't get permission first. And so not only did the girl like shoot him down, then she went and messed with me, then she kind of like fumbled around with his chick. I don't think he was feeling none of that. And like he really did, like I said, he really didn't think she was gonna be in the picture. And now all of a sudden we live together, so he has to sit here with these like early memories and whatnot. Long story short, the light-skinned Leo, she didn't make it around. I don't think his ego could take it at first, or for real. So she didn't get to stick around. But he replaced her with this dark-skinned Leo chick who he eventually also brought to the Chick-fil-A. Really doesn't matter. Like I said, I don't need to like overspill his business. I'm just trying to like create an understanding for y'all, because look, I like to take accountability. I'm not gonna say what I did was right, but I'm gonna tell you how we got there, because it'll make sense why I could never resurrect with this man. I'll never say never, but so we all lived there. The couples went out. He was with the dark-skinned Leo, and his girl and my girl, like they were cool. My girl, actually I think she did mess with her a little bit, but he didn't know about that one at the time. Maybe never will.
I listened to this episode.
If he watches it, I don't know if he'll watch anything with my face in it. Nigga, do not fuck with me. I'm so serious. L, do not fuck with me. But I'm getting to the point, because I've been like giving y'all all this background context, telling you about how my girl been messing with his girls on the low. Anyways, what ended up happening is before we even moved out of Cyprus, before that lease was up, L and the dark-skinned Leo chick, they split off. Whatever was going on with their relationship, they split off. I will tell y'all, to be honest, like there were a handful of times, I don't think it was too much, but there were a handful of times that like I think his girl was like kind of giving some comparisons, and she was like, oh, I wish she would do like this, like him, or that like me, or like, I know one point when I knew like, oh man, I messed up. I'm not done with it just yet. One point when I knew I had messed up, like I'd be, you know, we got a lot of nicknames and stuff. You'll hear me call him. Like, we got names, obviously, Austin and Darion, but then, of course, on here, we're Zero and Naseem. You can also hear, like, Mata and Koga. But it's a lot of names we respond to regardless. So, like, Mata was a nickname that I was heavy on. Still am, but heavy on. And, like, just sometimes the way his girl would, like, call, like, she'd be like, hey, Mata. You could just tell, man, you could tell he didn't like it. Like, she was too comfortable with it. Like it was second nature for her. Like I said, it was just so much, so many different things like stacking on top of each other. But I think his girl kind of like looked up to me a little bit, and it didn't help that like I was driving before him. I taught him how to drive. I told you I saw myself as the leader. I know I was making more money than him because I was the manager, so I had, you know, not that I was getting enough. Like we talked about that too, less than half of 1%. But I was making more money than him. Like just by comparison metrics, I think maybe she wanted him to work closer. Like, I don't know. I think she just looked up to me a little bit. Like, she maybe saw me as his big brother. And, you know, sometimes a girl catches some eyes for the big brother. She'd be like, okay, big brother, you're kind of cracking. I'm gonna jump to the end. So anyways, like, there were tensions there. Obviously, there were tensions there. If you couldn't tell by the fact I tried to choke slam him just for coming in my room when his girl was already in there. But they broke up towards the end of the lease, and I think she ended up moving out. Then we all moved out that next June. Like I said, we made it to the end of the lease. I don't know how. We all moved out. Me, my girl, and Naseem actually ended up moving into a whole nother separate house. L went on about his business. He already didn't fuck with me. But we were still cool with his ex. And not to overshare because we're eating too much time, but long story short, me, my girl, and L's ex end up having a threesome. That's what happened. We got active. But they were separate at the time. I just want to put that out there. And it's not like me and Elle were still boys. I know I'm defending myself right now. Some of y'all probably, I can hear the comments already. You slimy, bro. We ended up having a threesome. Elle and the girl, they weren't cool no more. They had broke up. Us and the girl were still cool. His girl, my girl, they had feels for each other. His girl kind of had feels for me. She looked up to me. She thought I was the big bro. And what happened, happened. And so eventually after that, like there were so many dynamics, but it didn't really pan out. Like it didn't develop into anything. It's not developed to a throuple. And I think eventually, like her and Elle spanned the block. You know, they got back together some months after that. And so she told him some things about that. And I think that like really sealed the deal. Like, bro already didn't fuck with me. And then he was like, what? You fucked my girl? Bro didn't fuck with me. Like, and if there was a chance before that, I probably really like blew it up. There's just like zero chance after that. So sometime after that, they broke up again or whatever, because I'm not here to spill his business, so I'm not gonna, but they broke up again. And eventually I got to a place where like I was trying to, like I one day I think I was just like looking back, I was down and out for real, I think. Maybe I had come back from Dallas, I think that's what it was, where I done some crashing and some burning. I had tore my car up when I was down there, so I didn't have a car now. I was back in St. Louis. I think I had a job, maybe, I don't remember. I think I was working in Menards, I was doing my part-time thing. Either way, I tried to hit the wrap around. I hit up Elle, like I texted him, I was like, or maybe I hit him on Instagram or whatever. I was just trying to rehash it, I was trying to rebuild the bridge. Like I was trying to generate a resurrection, which I had also tried to do at the end of the lease, but I told y'all, nigga didn't fuck with me. And he came out for the conversation. He pulled up on me. And, we hit a little drive around. Maybe we got some food. I don't remember either way, but we talked. And I think he came because he had questions. Like he asked, like, "Hey man, it's 4 billion girls in the world. Like, why did you have to do it with that one?" And I was just like, I didn't see the problem. I wasn't together no more. Like the vibe was right. What you want me to do? People aren't property. You don't own the girl, especially y'all broke up. So, and not like we was cool. You ain't fucking with me. So, what loyalty did I owe you? Is kind of how I felt about it. Like if it was my boy Naseem, like this my boy. So, I have no reason to mess with his ex because we still cool. And I'm not saying that if I wasn't cool with Naseem, I'd be willing to mess with his exes. Even though I guess that kind of is what I'm saying. If you take it as an example, actions speak louder than words. But this one was different, man. This one was different because me and Naseem, shit, even by the time we had moved into Cypress, went out together, like, that was 2018. We've been cool. What year did we get cool? We got cool in 2012. So that was at least 6, 7, 8 years. Yeah, probably, because it's been 6 more years. And I said 12. Yeah, so we were 6 years into, this is my best friend already. Whereas me and Elle, like, we really had only known each other like a year. And then it wasn't even a fruitful year because Ninjas wasn't beefing within months of moving in together, so it's definitely different. Context matters, but regardless, after that, homie was definitely never gonna fuck me ever again. So he came to the meeting when I tried to meet up with him again, and we did exchange some words. And bro will always save face. I tell you that though. If anybody else asks Elle, or if I ask Elle, he's like, "Oh no, it's not that. I don't fuck with you. It's just I'll be doing my own thing." He always gives the save face answer, but actions speak louder than words. Like my actions spoke, and that's why he doesn't fuck with me, and his actions speak. He don't fuck with me. But that's one example of a resurrection that I don't think I'm due to have. I don't think I'm ever gonna get that one. Like maybe in 10 years or something if he get over it, but maybe never.
Hey, it's all up to Elle if he wants to do it, whatever he want to do. But
I mean, I wouldn't mind. Of course I wouldn't mind. I would clearly, since I'm the one that tried. But the thing is, like, Elle's like a little brother to me. Like I said before, we both Capricorns, very similar. I think I'm an intelligent individual. He's very intelligent. Like we just think alike. But a lot of times, also, what people hate most in themselves is what they hate in others. And so people who are incredibly similar, they're gonna butt heads. They're gonna clash. Like one example, most of the time I can't clash. Like I can't be in a closed circle with somebody whose primary frame of mind is like, oh, I'm a leader because I think I'm the leader. So unless one of us is gonna come down and like play number 2, unless one of us is gonna be like lieutenant, we can't. There's not room for two captains on the ship. So I think L probably, not even probably, I think he does identify himself as a leader type. And so just off that, we're bound to clash heads because if I think I'm calling the shots and you think you're calling the shots, it's going to confuse the crew. Like, they're not going to know who to listen to if we're getting opposite directions. Like, we're not on the same page about things. But regardless, like I said, I think it just might be one of those things, like, when you're too similar, you're going to have the same strengths, but you're also going to have the same weaknesses. And you're going to butt heads in certain areas. It just depends. But who knows? Maybe one day. I pray for my brother. I do really hope the best, because I think that, I mean, y'all heard us on episode 3. In my belief, the best of human achievement comes through collaboration. And so if I see another young, talented individual, like, of course I'm gonna believe, like, hey, we could collaborate and do more together than we could do separately as individuals. So, hey, who knows? Maybe one day, if you're out there, I do apologize, man, for what it's worth, but. Yeah, that's one resurrection. And like I said, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get that one. I don't know if I deserve that one, you know. Nah, I think that's enough of that. I'll leave that one alone. But I knew y'all was gonna be curious, so I at least wanted to let y'all know why L don't fuck with me. Cause sure, when I said that, I was like, well, fuck you, do, nigga. I fucked this girl. That's what happened. Once. It was just once. That I'm gonna talk about.
This dude. Any other resurrections you did, bro, that succeeded?
I think when we first tried to do episode 10, you know, because I told you it took us 3 tries. The one that you guys get to see, that was number 3. We tried 2 other times, but in one of those attempts, I ended up speaking on a relationship with my old best friend. It was she was a Scorpio. Let me think of a name for her. We just call her AR. You know what I'm talking about. But me and AR were actually friends before even me and Naseem. Me and AR, we met all the way in the 5th grade, and we got cool when I was in the 7th grade. And we had a real long relationship, but we had a will they, won't they type of relationship. Like, I kind of liked her, she kind of liked me, but we had this thing going where every time I was single, she was with somebody, and every time she was with somebody, like, I was single. And so, you know what I just said? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Every time I was single, she was with somebody. Every time she was single, I was with somebody. She used to hate my girlfriends too. I have a habit of picking bad girlfriends sometimes. Not this most recent one. Most recent one. Y'all gonna hear another time. It's irrelevant. Like I said, we was will they, won't they type friends for a long time, and it never really turned into anything. Eventually, like, she moved to go to school somewhere else. Like, she went to college in another state, and so then, like, we had a decent relationship or whatever, but it was never gonna, for me, it was never gonna turn romantic, because, like, long distance just ain't it for me. Like, I don't see the point in sitting up worrying if you're cheating or not, and, like, I know I'm not gonna come. It's like, imagine, like, right now it's February and say, oh, I got a trip planned to come see you in June. I'm not gonna sit up here and wait for the next 4 months, and I don't know what you're doing for the next 4 months, like, or I'm not gonna be on some petty stuff like, oh, let me hawk your location and make sure you're not okay. Like, they say distance makes the heart grow fonder, but they also sometimes say out of sight, out of mind. And I don't know, I think I lean more towards that belief. Out of sight, out of mind. Like, if you've survived a long distance, good on you, but it's not for me. And so even when opportunities would come up, like, we got together, we were both in St. Louis or something, or there was one time we went to Boston together. That's another story. just for a night, but it was for a gaming convention. We didn't do anything, and it's like, we shared a hotel room, 2 separate beds, but you know, I didn't want to cross the line with the girl, because I felt like crossing the line would ruin the friendship, and ruining the friendship didn't make sense, because the friendship had more value than a relationship would. The relationship wasn't gonna have no value because she lived in another state and I was here. But and even before we started falling out for real, there were like at least one good time that me and AR, I told you, we got cool in the 7th grade, but by like high school, at one point, I stopped talking to her for about a year or so because she hated my girlfriend so bad. And for her, like to be with the girl whom I chose, kind of was like a betrayal. Like she hated that girl, like even before me and the girl were dating. Like, and I think I knew that she didn't really care for the girl. So she was like, one time she was like, so I think when she found out, the way she texted me, she said, "Did I see you in the hallway?" I was like, yeah. She was like, were you with somebody? Like I said, yeah. Like, what are you trying to ask? She was like, She was like, and okay, all right. You know, like it was so much, like we were texting, but it was so much unspoken in the way she was texting me and the way I was texting back. Like basically she was trying to say, this is what she was trying to say. "Hey, did I see you with that bitch?" And basically I was like, well, yeah, is that a problem? She was like, left it at that. That's kind of how that conversation went. And so we really, for like a good year, like weren't very much on speaking terms. In fact, I'm gonna never forget this. I'm gonna tell this story the same way every time, but when me and that girl broke up and I went to text AR to resurrect the relationship because we hadn't been speaking for like about a year, I texted her and she responded and said, "Oh wow, to what do I owe this great pleasure?" Like that's what she said. Like, to what do I owe this great pleasure? If I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to make sure, but either way, even if my wording isn't 100% correct, like that's just about what she said. Like I damn near word for word. It was, to what do I owe this? It might have been the ending that's off. It might not be great pleasure. Like it might have been monumental experience or momentous moment, something like that. It was, to what do I owe? Like, it was like a sarcastic, like a, wow, you're talking to me? Like that was the vibe. And so that was the first time we resurrected, because that was the first time that we fell out of sorts. And that was actually the least dramatic of my fallouts. This girl came up, he asked on purpose, because we was cool, we fell off. It was cool, we fell off. It was cool again, I cut her off. And it's cool again, I think. I cut her off again after I promised not to do it. I think I might have done it even another time. I promise, I was like, I'm really not gonna leave this time. And I had to cut her off. But the reason that this kept on going through like all these cycles, these death and rebirth, because I told you, we had these feelings for each other and they never went anywhere. Then there was a time she came to St. Louis, she asked me to pick her up from the airport. I went ahead and did it. When I was dropping her off, we had this emotion spark where she was like, "Oh, thanks for picking me up from the airport." And I said, anytime for you. And it was felt, I don't know, something about that. Like we called it a spark, because something about me saying that, it just, suddenly the feelings was flaring again. And like I was in a tough spot in my relationship, she was in a tough spot in her relationship, so it kind of was probably easy for us to lean into a relationship, like to a place where the energy felt high vibe instead of low vibe. But regardless, after that, she basically wanted us to pursue these feelings. And for me, like it just didn't fit with my morality, because one, we were both in separate relationships. She had a boyfriend, I had a girlfriend. But two, her boyfriend was somebody whom I'd been cool with. We met this guy, he was actually cool with Naseem first, but we met this guy in high school, and he was hella dope, played games stuff, like video games, and just a cool personality. He loved fighting. We loved combat and whatnot. He was just the coolest fucking dude, and he had never done me any type of wrong. Still hasn't to this day. The dude has never done me any type of wrong. So no, like he wasn't like my best friend, but he was a good friend. Like he, like I said, never did me any type of wrong. So there was just no way for me, like, that I could be like, "Hey, I know you with my boy T, but I know you like me more, so I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do." And that's the thing. If she had been with anybody else and we had that same scenario play out where these feelings sparked up for each other, I ain't got no problem. I'd have been Mr. Studio Girl. I don't care. It is what it is. It happens to everybody. I'm sorry that we live in a competitive world, but we do. And if you competing, and you either a winner or a loser. And most of y'all are losers or whatever, unless you put in the work. And so, some dude was with my best friend, my girl best friend, and he ain't getting it right. And she looking at me, and I want her anyway. Yeah, I would have took her, but not from my boy. I couldn't do it for my boy. That's why I told you, I'm really not as much of a snake as that my first story make me seem. It's like, okay, context matters. I couldn't do it to my boy, and so of course I wanted to. My emotions were there, my feelings were there. I love the girl, but it didn't stand with my morality to lean into this. And so I would tell her, because she would tell me like, oh man, like at one point she even told me like, I'm convinced that if we got married, it would just end in divorce. And so when she was telling me this type of stuff, I would, like, my response was like, okay, well, if you feel that way, like, just break things off with him. You break shit off with him, give it a clean slate or whatever, like, I will pursue this with you, but I'm not finna just be doing whatever, like, calling my boy out. I didn't feel right about it. I was not trying to live on slime activity. And basically, she tried to tell me, like, her rationale, because I was telling her, man, like, loyalty matters to me, and like, he ain't never done me wrong, so I can't do that. And she was like, well, if loyalty matters, you know, you knew me longer and you liked me longer, so you should like display the loyalty to me first and it'll be fine, or you just let me handle the specifics, blah blah blah. Either way, the reason we kept doing this is because she wanted me to set my morality to the side and just go ahead and pursue something with her. And I told her that if we were gonna do anything like that, like, she needed to clear her slate first. And I don't know, she just didn't do that. And it was a whole saga. Like, this shit went on for years. Like, we're talking again, we cool, had to cut her off. Like, and there were even times I can't make this up, and Naseem can attest to this. I would take actual receipts. I screenshot some of the things she actually said to me, sent them to my boy, like, hey dog, I think you should know your girl, she tripping, she crossing the lines. And I think he appreciated the efforts on my behalf, but you know, he decided he was gonna work these things out with her or whatever. So they kept their relationship intact. And so as long as they had a relationship intact, there was no reason for me to do this with her. But all the same, she still, like, no matter what, if we was talking, even if we had agreed, because people can agree to one thing but they act another way, we would agree like, hey, let's just be cool, let's just be friends, like, you know, we both value the relationship, so we were like, look, even if we're not gonna pursue something, like, let's just keep our friendship together. And we would agree to that, but then she would always circle back to the I can't be around you and not want to pursue these feelings. And she would get to telling me how, like, oh, you were the first person I ever saw myself marrying, like when I was a kid, and da 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 da. It just, like I said, it was too complex, but it's for these reasons why more than one time I just fell off her radar. I just stopped answering her calls, stopped responding to her text messages. I was like, you know what? Because it just wasn't the environment for me. That is how me and AR fell out. And the resurgences, they came, man. Like, it wasn't that hard. Either I would message her, she'd message me, or we had a thing for like making Google Drive documents to each other and typing like long form and like letting the other person run into it and blah blah blah. But either way, we would reestablish communications, which is, and to answer your question, those would be the successful resurrections. But then I would have to kill them off again, and after however much time elapsed, because it wasn't functional. And that's really the way to put it. The relationship wasn't functional. And so that's why, even though it was revisited multiple times, each time I found that the shit wasn't functional. So it just had to cut it, you know, it is what it was. But Naseem actually is still cool with them, like both the guy and the girl. I don't talk to either one of them. Obviously, I don't talk to the girl anymore, but I came to the conclusion myself that I feel like their lives are better and more stable without me in it, because I feel like I'm just a distraction to it. So I really don't talk to either one of them anymore. Like, no, I ain't gonna fake it. I would still be cool with the dude. In fact, they recently came to St. Louis on a little trip, and I tried to see if bro could get away and like just come hit a bar with us like a couple hours or something. But because of the way our fallout's gone, you know, since I cut her off unceremoniously, like just stop answering her calls and texts, people be feeling a way about that. So she was like, no, I don't want you hanging out with him. Just kind of petty, but it is what it is. So regardless, I really don't talk to him anymore. But Naseem, on the other hand, he still folks with him. That's why I said always the middleman, because you don't fall out with nobody. But that's also why I asked, you know, what do middleman life be like? You know, even in this setting, what's middleman life like? Where you watched us do this stupid crap for years, but I remember the other day you said you was livid with the girl because, like, WTF, why you calling your boy like that?
Yeah, T is my best friend, so middleman life ain't always me. I do have biased feelings at times, but yeah, So I do appreciate you letting them know. So, but yeah, middleman life, it just ain't fun sometimes because I find myself like, for people I'm really cool with, I find myself talkative, but I can't talk about everything with everybody. So yeah, I usually hold back information sometimes, and then I don't kind of say sometimes, and it's just, but I mean, I still cherish my friends and everything else like that. So middleman life is okay, I guess, but yeah. I don't know how else to explain, man. Middleman life is, yeah. I'm just a go with the flow kind of guy, and I don't like to lose people around me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just creates strange dynamics. Ironically, at least for right now, because I think they're planning to move. And that can be weird too. Like, imagine you fall out with somebody, y'all not cool, but then, let's put it like this. A and B aren't cool anymore, but A and C are still cool. So from C, I sometimes hear things about B, but I have to leave it alone. It's not because that's just not my connect anymore. Or imagine this, B, I told y'all she moved to another state, ended up going to school. Our boy T, he moved from a third different state to be with her and whatnot. They've been, they've been together for a long time, but they happen to live in the same city that like my dad's side of the family and some of my siblings and them live in. And so, like, even when I'm contemplating in my head, like, oh man, I would love to go down there and like visit my dad and them, Like me and Naseem, we like to travel together sometimes and stuff. We took some trips and shit, just be cool. And so I'd be like, oh Naseem, you could come through. But then in my mind, I'd be imagining like, like maybe when he's kicking it with them, I can go kick it with my own family. And then when he get done with them, maybe I get done with my family or something like that. And then we can reconvene. It's just like weird mentally planning around relationship breaks or relationship gaps, like in settings where like groups used to be cool, but now just like segments of the group are still cool with each other. I've actually seen a scenario like that before, because in high school, like in middle school through high school, I kind of kept the same friend group. And then right after high school, I ended up dating one of the girls in the friend group. And then of course we ended up splitting off. That I could tell you our cursed IHOP story. That shit was hilarious, but I'm not gonna do it right now. Time, but y'all see his face. He was there. Cursed IHOP was hilarious. Ironically, AR and T were there too. We were all cool at the time. So many stories, but afterwards, me and that girl broke up. Some of my essentially the friend group from high school, more or less, it's like they chose me, because when they're doing something like at my friend's wedding, or he had like a brunch gathering of sorts one time a couple of months ago or whatnot, they'll invite me, but they know good and well not to invite the ex-girl, even though she was part of the friend group too for years, just because they know we dated and we split up. So I wonder what the other side of that would have been like. Like, say we had split up, but they had favored the girl more, so then would I have lost my whole high school friend group just because I'm not with the girl anymore? And now that I think of it from that perspective, I kind of feel bad for the girl, because to a certain capacity, she lost maybe not lost, maybe they do their own separate things, I wouldn't know, but maybe at times it feels like she lost some part of her high school friend group, because 3, 4, 5, probably at least 3 to 4 members of the group, when we get together, I guess she just doesn't get I don't even think she gets the invite, because she don't be in the group text or anything like that, and it's basically only because we broke up. And it's dang. I mean to steal your friends like that, or kick you out of the friend group. I put it more like that, because we were all friends with each other, but it's dang, I didn't mean to kick you out the group. But even in this dynamic, I guess now in this setting, I am the one that got kicked out, even though I did the cutoff. But AR and T are still together, and then T and Naseem still cool, so they could squad and ride, but I couldn't come around just because of the choices I made. But then it's what was I supposed to do? Because the only way to have been remained in good standing with her at this rate would have been to defile my relationship with T. So what was I supposed to do? I don't know. Sometimes you can't resurrect, man. Sometimes you can't. I mean, sometimes you can. As Naseem told you before, we had our own falling out before. I told y'all after the Cypress fallout, we moved to another house, and in that house, Naseem and I had our own falling out eventually. But this ain't that episode. Y'all missed Final Valley Fallouts. You'll have to wait till we drop Final Valley Fallouts 2, probably sometime next year or something. We're gonna make y'all wait because we like to, just because we can, but regardless. Clearly, you can see like we came back from that, so it's not impossible, obviously, to have a resurgence that just simply works out, but shit, sometimes you just can't resurge at all. Like, there was never at all. He never resurged. He ain't even gonna fake it. He'll fake it enough to say that, oh man, I don't have no problem with him, but dude won't, like, if we invited him to something, if I invited him to something, or somebody invited him and he found out I was there, I don't know, I would think he would just not come. Or sometimes you have like resurgences that aren't a full true resurgence, or it is, but it has a lifetime, it's like on an hourglass. It's got a limit to it. Me and AR, we researched a couple of times, and as you can see, each time it has resulted right back to the fallout again. We're back out. And I mean, who knows? Maybe we could possibly resurge again, but what would be the point? Like I said before, it seems to always come to a difference of morality. So I think their lives are better without me in it, so I'll leave it alone. But shit, the exes I was with for 5.5 years, those weren't a clean 5.5 years. We probably broke up in 5.5 years. We probably broke up at least like 3 to 4 times. And those all resulted in resurgences, but low-key still could, but hopefully not. I think she's decided that my life is better without her in it, surprisingly, because she bowed herself out, but we're not here to talk about my dating life, so. Naseem, what you got, man?
I ain't got too much. That kind of stuff sucks, because I have the most fun when I'm around everybody, so yeah. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's kind of killer, like forming a group and then killing a group.
Yeah, it sucks.
Because basically it punishes everybody who didn't do the falling out themselves. And I mean, even the people who did fall out, a fallout feels like a punishment. It never feels good to fall out with somebody. I'll put it like that. It never feels good. Both parties are gonna have their feelings hurt. So actually, when there's a group and the group is cool, and then any parties in the group fall out, it kind of punishes everybody in the group. Just hurts the dynamics somewhat.
Indeed, especially middleman perspective. If you cool with everybody, you be out here chilling out with, like we chilling out with Austin. I'm like, man, T could like this and he could chill out with us, but can't. Or I'm chilling out with T and like, oh, Austin don't like this, but he can't. It's like, damn. So everybody missing out on fun, and it kind of sucks as a friend. So
pretty much, like, we used to all play PlayStation together and whatnot. I cannot game with them no more for obvious reasons. T and AR are actually about to get married. They're doing a cruise and whatnot, like as their pre-honeymoon or like right before the wedding, I think, right? Like Naseem's going. Cruise sounds dope as hell. Can't go. Like I said, it punishes the whole group. When Fallouts punish the whole group. Yeah, Fallouts punish the whole group. Like if it came through a group dynamic. And shit, I mean, even like I already said, even one-to-one fallouts, it punishes both parties, but it especially hurts even more when it's a group like that. It just changes dynamics so much. Like he already said, now there's some times where he might not even say everything that's on his mind because he's trying to keep out certain names or certain like experiences, just shit like that. So, but so then by that nature, do resurgences reward groups like?
The way I see things, because like I said, I'm gonna go with the flow kind of guy. What happens, it is what it is. So if it occurred, it probably happened for a reason. So yeah.
Well, probably happened for a reason, man. That's the truth. The universe has a master plan, and it's bigger than anything we know. So
true. Low-key, I kind of blame myself because I'm the one that introduced AR and T.
Yeah, but everything happens for a reason, man. At the time, T was living in, like I said, he was living in a whole different state. The funny thing is, all 4 of us went to high school together. AR, she's like right in our same age group, but she was in a special program because I was smart. She was even smarter. So I was in a gifted, she was in a super gifted. She skipped the 6th grade, and so her and T ended up in the same grade. They were one above us, and then of course me and Naseem, we straight through have been in the same grade or whatever, blah blah blah. But we all went to the same high school together, and the two of them, like, they knew each other by proxy, like as a name, like, oh yeah, you know, he went to the same school with us, but they didn't know each other. But then ironically, because we were all friends, and we all played PlayStation and whatnot together, T and AR, if I'm not mistaken, like they met each other for real, like in a PlayStation party. Damn, she cute. Woo. Edit.
This fool. Anyways. Yeah,
Was I
they
wrong
made me
enough?
because
Was I
I
wrong
introduced them.
No, it wasn't.
Anyways. I'm booed up. I don't judge women. Anyways.
What? Don't lie to me. Your eyes still work. Hold on.
I'm booed up. But anyways.
I am too. That don't mean your eyes don't work. I didn't say go holler at her. I just said she was cute. Right or wrong. You know I'm right.
I
But
looked at her. That's all I looked at.
I don't want to get you in trouble. You know, your girl might watch this episode. I don't want to get you in trouble, but you know she was bad. But we gonna have to edit this out, maybe.
This y'all boy. But
anyways, they met in a PlayStation party. T and AR met in a PlayStation. Correct.
Yeah, because I think we was all playing Destiny at the time.
Probably.
And then I think I got T, or maybe it was Overwatch.
Doesn't matter.
But then I was like, but my boy T good. So I was like, bring him along, and eventually they all got introduced and they talked. And when I wasn't there and shit, and things occurred.
Yeah, my boy moved from a whole nother state to come be with her. He was serious. In fact, I think he left his girl and moved to another state to come be with her. He was serious, and now that's going to be his wife, so he was serious.
I think they already broke up. But I think his
him and his ex
already broke up.
Who cares?
But yeah, I mean, anything to pursue happiness, you know what I'm saying? So as long as people around me are happy, I really don't care.
I think, if I recall right, I mean, you would know better than me because you introduced him, but if I recall right, he was, when they first met, he was still with his chick, but they ended up breaking up naturally. But I think part of the natural breakup was probably that he liked somebody else. I mean, that kind of is natural too. Like when you're in a relationship and it's dying, and you get to the end, and then you start developing feelings for somebody else. Like the new feelings are probably like they typically will help you to be ready to end your dying relationship. So if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong here. I think, you know, the girl he was with, it was already on the tail end. So then once he started developing those new feelings, it was easy for him to break it off. And then once he had the clean slate, he was able to, you know, shoot that shot, spit that game. T get money, okay? So it was easy for him.
That's not how it went.
Well, I'm just wrong.
You are. But anyways, that's T's business.
Right. No, it's not, you know, so nothing for us to overspill on. Well, either way it goes, he was serious.
Yeah,
worked out for him, man.
Pursue happiness, man. Pursue happiness.
Man, gotta pursue
I'm sure
happiness.
we all would do the same.
Well, we might. I don't know. We might have said all that needs to be said here. It's just one topic, man. It's just the resurgences, and
yeah, I wish we could give y'all some better examples to help you out with any researches that you might want to do. But
I mean, I got some experience, and obviously I've gone through some resurgences with exes, with ex-friends, with. No, I ain't never circled back no job. I don't think. You pissed me off on the job, we done. To be clear,
that's how everybody go for real, unless they need money.
I mean, everybody need money. My pride. I go work somewhere else. Either way, tips for succeeding in a resurgence, man. First, be mature. Like I know it's easier said than done. And like, what does mature mean? That's so like ambiguous. But like, take accountability. You know, look at what you did. Like, slow down. Try to take a step back. Leave your personal feelings behind it. Don't justify. Don't be talking about something. Oh, I did it because this, or it's not so bad because that. Even though I know I just did some of that, but put your justifications aside, put your ego aside, and take accountability, you know. Try to look at it from the other person's point of view. You know, acknowledge that, oh, what I did hurt you, and like, apologize and mean it, and understand that an apology without changed behavior is simply manipulation. That's telling somebody what they want to hear so that you can get what you want to get. So if you're gonna apologize, like, oh man, I'm sorry I cut you off. Sorry I stopped responding, or I'm sorry I fucked your girl, or just whatever. Like, don't do it again. Because an apology without changed behavior is manipulation. Take accountability, and if you're gonna, I'm more mature now. I changed. I won't do that anymore. Mean it. Like, be changed. Don't do it again. I mean, even if it's something like, say y'all fell out because you kept going in that person's closet and borrowing their clothes, or like you wouldn't take the trash out, or you had like awful, cleaning habits. You wasn't doing no dishes or whatever, or you was leaving the bathroom a hot mess and people just couldn't take it, or you was late getting them the rent money and like that shit pissed them off. Like, whatever it is, you take accountability, you apologize. Like, don't do it again. If y'all was falling out because you was giving somebody the rent money late, like, be on top of your shit, man. Give them the rent money on time this time. Or don't live with that person if you know y'all handle y'all financials different type shit. Like, understand the dynamic and then build something that works with that level of understanding. But be honest, be vulnerable, be accountable, be mature, put your ego to the side, put your pride to the side. Don't apologize unless you mean it. Don't say some shit unless you're going to change your behavior. And learn from your experiences. Just, like I said, if, say y'all handle financials differently, maybe don't get wrapped up in money with that person. Like, don't live with them, so then y'all don't have to worry about money, or don't borrow from them and shit, or if, I don't know, maybe y'all be falling out because y'all be chasing the same girls. Like, be mature enough to just chase a different girl, bro. Like, there's 4 billion, there's 4 billion of them on the planet, Y'all don't have to get into competitions over time. Or maybe it is a competitive thing. Maybe y'all play the game, y'all be shit talking too much, people be taking it personally. Maybe just don't talk all that shit, bro. Control yourself. Like, having maturity and control over yourself is going to obviously help you with your resurgences. So those are my tips for resurrecting relationships. Naseem?
I ain't got no tips.
Yeah, he don't fall out with nobody. I keep telling y'all, but I really mean it. Like, dude, cool as a fan. Regardless, though, I think that's the episode, man. I think that's our relationship resurrections. I told y'all it was gonna be a 2-parter. We had our fallouts, we had our resurrections, so we can wrap this up, man.
Sir.
Any quick open thoughts? Maybe anything touched your heart lately you want to tell them? Any one-liners?
When we're doing this episode, Valentine's Day is around the corner.
Valentine's Day is around the corner. Let me count real quick. If I'm not mistaken, today is February 3rd that we're recording. Valentine's Day is the 14th, yeah, so it's in the 11 days. Yeah. Let's see, this upcoming Monday the 5th, episode number 5 comes out. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is due to come out March 18th. So it'll obviously be about a month past Valentine's Day.
Hey, y'all can still tell us what y'all did. Or
yeah, let us know.
You don't see how it goes?
I was gonna say, whatever you got going, you got some lover boy activities, let us know.
You never know, you might get somebody else an idea.
Really might. Drop in the comments, whatever. If you're resurrecting a relationship, a lot of people, Valentine's Day, these females, they get lonely out here. Some of y'all might be on some resurrection tips, so wish this was coming out before Valentine's. But if you resurrected a relationship for Valentine's Day, got you some old new play, let us know how it went. If some of these tips helped you out, if you were like, oh man, you're right, I should apologize and leave my bullshit to the side, stop doing it all over again. If it helped you out, let us know. Some of y'all are gonna fall out for Valentine's Day. Your girl gonna find out you was cheating on her and shit. So if you going through a fallout or went through a fallout or something, let us know. Tap in. Yeah. I was gonna say there were a couple little notes I think last time. I was gonna say I just turned 26, y'all. My birthday was in January. I'm not telling y'all the date because y'all be hawking. Even I'm hollering. Yeah, but I just turned 26 mid-January. Another solar return, you know what it is. Bless up, just glad for that. Valentine's Day is coming up, like you said. I also want to say I'm just grateful for ancestral blessings, man. Y'all know how I like to tap on how I'm a spiritual, not a religious, but whatever. Just thank you to the ancestors for waking me up yesterday, for bringing us here, for giving us the opportunity, man, to carve out a path where we can share our learnings with you, man. And like as we said before, this this is just a documentation. It's a documentation of our journeys as we pursue greatness. So we're not telling you that we're the end all be all, the know alls, do what I say do, but we're gonna continue to document where we are and where we're going so that when we are those ninjas, y'all can see where we came from, because hey, we all just coming from wherever we started, and most of us started from normie, from nobody, from scratch, from the dirt, from the trenches. But yeah, I want to say I'm grateful for the ancestral blessings, because a nigga got killed like 20 feet from me and my brother's apartment. Like, was this last week? I think it was. It wasn't that long ago. Like, yeah, just last week. I promise. It was like 9 o'clock at night. 10. It was about 10 something, I think. Either way, it was nighttime. It was about 10 o'clock at night. And I was like in the bed trying to fall asleep. I think I had Rick and Morty on. I just got into watching that because my new girl is into that. But in the bed, and all I heard was like at least like 30 shots go out. Jump out of bed, grab my pistol. I know what type of neighborhood I live in, so I leave it on my dresser, and I'm trying to duck and stuff. So I'm looking around like this, but you don't know where the shots came from because we was in the house. So like I don't even know where to duck. Me and my brother, we stay like on a 3rd floor in our building. So I'm like, well, should I try to climb in the bed? Because what if they come through the floor? Like you don't know where these bullets are coming from, but. Lo and behold, there was some drama. Some girls had literally just moved into one of the units, like building right over, and I don't know what type of mess they was in, but some of the dudes they was hanging around, I don't know. They must have been on that crack, on that cocaine. But some shots went up and some niggas died, literally, and like 20, 30 feet from where me and my brother stay. So I just want to say I'm grateful for the blessings, man. Like anything can happen to anybody in this world at any time. And so every day is something to be grateful for. Just keep that in mind, y'all. And yeah, I guess that's all the thoughts I got. But happy Valentine's Day, y'all. Anyways, as we said before, man, it's been our great honor to be able to serve you all here. Just want to say thank you for being here. If you made it this far, definitely just want to say thanks for listening to the end. We came to this platform to be able to serve others who are striding down the path of greatness, and it's those of you who lend your time and your ears that make that possible. So whatever platform you're consuming on, just be sure to like this episode, participate with us, man, tap in, subscribe to our channel. Whatever platform you're consuming on, be sure to like this episode, participate in our polls, and then just subscribe to the channel for more insights on the life of a modern shinobi, man. Don't forget to connect with us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. You're going to see our short form content. And then lastly, if there's anybody that you'd like to see on this show or that you'd like for us to collaborate with. So, if there's a guest that was on, you want to see them come back, maybe y'all want to see Ali, even though we had a fallout, but it could be researched. If y'all want to see Nita, if y'all want to see TSL Michi, even though that boy, he crazy. If y'all want to see Ada Biss, y'all want to see somebody different, if there's anybody that you want to see on this show, or that you just want us to collaborate with in general, reach out to them, man. Reach out to them and let them know that you want to see them working with us. Content creators create for their fans. I say it every week and I say it twice every week. Content creators create for their fans. So when you tell your favorite creators that you want to see a collaboration, that's what gets their attention pointed our way. So just be sure to shout us out to whomever else that you're watching and listening to. And with that said, hope everybody's having a great day. Remember, choose with your actions today who you're going to be tomorrow. Will you be greater than yesterday?